Hi and welcome to this Red Cardinal mini tutorial where I show you how I use the wet into wet method to paint the beautiful deep rich tones of this bird. So once I've laid quite a generous water glaze over the whole area that I want to paint, I apply a fairly thick consistency of my deep red mix and I just watch the paint spread out into the body. And then while my surface is still wet, I add a slightly darker red mix to the darkest area on the bird's body. And then I use my clean damp brush to just help settle and blend this colour into the background, therefore creating the rounded form of the bird. Hi, I'm Marie and I have an online watercolour school. I particularly like painting using this wet into wet method as it's a very satisfying way to paint as you see the colours spread out and blend into each other. I'm just taking some areas of paint out here and wiping my brush on my kitchen towel as I go, so that I don't put the same paint back down onto my paper that I've just picked up. And this is just creating a textured surface that begins to resemble the cardinal's feathers. And then I let that area dry before I come back and add more layers over the top. And then I move up to the head and paint it in the same way. So adding a water glaze first and keeping the water glaze nice and smooth so that when I add my paint in, it spreads out evenly across the surface. And then again, I take my clean damp brush and just help blend in these edges, making sure that I retain the lighter area in the centre here, so that it gives the area depth and it doesn't look flat. Then I continue in the same way on the other areas of the cardinal. Now here I'm taking my smaller pointed round brush with a very fine point and I'm using a darker mix and working onto a very light damp surface. I'm just starting to hint at this feathered surface here. Then once I have these markings down, I take a larger brush, it's just clean and damp, and very gently blend over the top so that it helps these markings settle into the background. And then I come up to the top here again and do the same. So this tutorial is a full step-by-step 2-hour tutorial in my membership club. The link is below if you'd like to take a look. And then I just continue working my way around my subject, adding my paint into a wet or damp surface and continually building up the layers until I've got the depth of colour and the detail that I want. And then I come on to the eye and I very delicately paint this in. So I really don't want to introduce too much water here at all, but I do want to dampen the surface so that the paint softens in at its edges, creating an overall more natural look. Again, I'm using my pointed round brush so that I've got a very fine tip to work with, and I build up the details slowly, just one step at a time, allowing each area to dry off when I need to, and then coming back in to further enhance the colour and add any more detail that I want to. If you like this video and find it useful in your own practice, please like and subscribe so that you'll be kept up to date when my new tips and technique videos become available. There are over 90 more tutorials in my membership club, and they're all instantly available to you when you join the membership club. So if you'd like to have a look, just click the link below and come on over. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found something useful here. Goodbye for now and enjoy the rest of the video.